How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for another comic book haul. This time I have some stuff I picked up. We had three actual conventions going on this weekend around my area. We had the Downriver Comic and Collectible Show in Lincoln Park. We had the Nightsall Comic and Toy Show in Livonia. And we had the Dawn of the Collector Show in St. Clair Shores. So they were all happening this weekend, and I managed to get to a couple of them. The first one I went to was the one that's right down the street from my house. It's the Downriver Comics and Collectible Show. They have it at the Lincoln Park High School every year in June. It's a 2-day event, so I like to go there and support it so that it keeps happening. It gets bigger and bigger every year, but unfortunately, like this year, since there was 2 other conventions on the same weekend, it's kind of rough for them. There wasn't too many dealers, but I did manage to pick up some stuff. There's a couple of, I went to a dollar bin guy and I picked up a couple of comics. I got Dark Days from IDW #1. Dark Crossing, Dark Clouds Rising #1. I never had seen this before with Lara Croft on it. It's a crossover with her and Witchblade. Cygor #1. This was a big book a little while ago, but now it's not, as is a lot of stuff nowadays. I used to collect Dan Agents when they were first came out. I didn't even know there was a super special that Antarctic Press put out, so I grabbed that one with Rainbow on the cover. I picked up a couple of Impossible Man summer vacation specials. I have the 1991 and the 1990 one, and then the 1991 one. I never saw this before. Machine Teen #1. It's a mini series. The guy had all 5 parts, but I only bought the first issue. I don't know if that's Machine Man related or what the heck's going on with that one. This Ninja High School Speed Racer crossover, issue #2, so I'm gonna have to get issue #1. Big Mr. Monster fan, and then there was an Airboy and Mr. Monster crossover, so I picked that one up for $1. Always like to get the 1963 tie-ins. That was a mini series that Alan Moore did for Image. That was like a love letter to classic Marvel comics from the 60s. So this one was the Shadowhawk met some of the 1963 characters. They never did finish the miniseries either, unfortunately. Savage Dragon, God War #1. Never saw that before. I picked up this other I Love Marvel. There's another one. I never saw this Outlaw Love one, so I picked this one up for $1. Then we have a few more here. Got Angels of Destruction #1 from Malibu Comics. I've always liked this cover. Kind of semi-painted. This one, Asylum, this is issue #6. This is from Maximum Press. And this was a Rob Liefeld production. But this one has a story in here. It's Bionics with an X, Bionix. And they did this, and it was like a $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman story, but they really didn't have the rights to do a Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man story. So this is one and done. They were going to do a whole series, I guess, in the Image manner, but they only put it in this Asylum story. It's a couple pages, but then that was the last they ever did about it. And then I think who got $6 Million Man? Was it Dynamite? I don't know. Somebody did Bionic $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman comics eventually, but they said no out of this one. Then I picked up these 10th Muse comics with the photo variant covers. 10th Muse #7. It says the Truth Revealed Part 1. So I just picked up all the parts. Here's 8B, another photo cover, and then 9B photo cover. And then this one I picked up by accident. It must have been in the pile, but Impulse 21, no reason. I don't even collect Impulse. And then this one I never saw before either. Thought Bubble This opens up as like a newspaper kind of comic, so it's kind of interesting. Also, Cool World, the comic book adaptation from DC, number 4. That's the last part of that issue or story. And then here's another one I bought just strictly for the cover. Broken Trinity, number 1. And then another movie tie-in, movie adaptation comic, Barbed Wire, the Pamela Anderson movie there. And then Atlantis Rising. I never had seen this before, but it was a pretty sweet looking cover. And then the last one I picked up from this guy was Asylum, number 1. So those were all dollar comics that I picked up at the one dealer. And then, like I said, there wasn't too much stuff there. Then I found another guy that was selling some comics. I picked this. And the funny thing is, so I bought these comics from this guy. And then he says, hey, I recognize that voice. You're Easy Comic Collecting. And I said, yeah, I am. So his name was Ray. He was really nice. I got this Stanley and His Monster. I got issue number 1 and number 2. He had these for $3 for the pair. And then I also picked up Scarlet Sisters number 1 from him, and Monster Planet number 1. I had never seen either one of these. So, and I always like picking up number 1 issues, as I've mentioned before. So, yeah, I picked those up from him. It was really nice. He's a really nice person. Him and his buddy were up there selling stuff. I think his friend was selling DVDs and he was selling comics. So, again, really nice meeting you, Ray. And I was really surprised that somebody recognized my voice from my videos. But it's just mind-boggling. I'm really happy that people are watching my channel nevertheless. And then the last thing I picked up at the Lincoln Park show was Bill Morrison was there again. He is from this area. He grew up in Lincoln Park. He went to Lincoln Park High School. So he was there, and he had a couple of things at his booth. I picked up this. I picked up a copy of his sketchbook that he has. He was selling that for $25, and everything you buy from him, he signs. And then I also picked up the Svengoolie comic that he did the cover for. So, and then he goes, I don't know if you saw the sign here, but he had $10 off anything that you buy, just for this convention, because it was at the high school. And so he goes, so this one was free. And he goes, I didn't even realize I had any $10 comics out there. And then the $25 sketchbook ended up being $15. So I was really happy about picking these up. And he's such a nice person, and he goes to almost every show around here. So it was really good seeing him again, and I'm glad he can keep coming and making the convention worth going to. So then I also went to, I was going to go back to the Lincoln Park one the next day, but I decided to go out to the Nightsall Comic and Toy Show in Livonia. So there was supposed to be this guy that he was bringing like 20 long boxes. He had bought 3 collections, and they advertised it on the Facebook page. So I'm like, well, I'll go out there and see what he's got. But I went to this other dealer first. He had $2 comics, or they were 3 for $5. So I picked up this Art Adams Alternation number 1. I think I have a couple of copies of this already. Daring Escapes Art Adams cover with Houdini on it. Hellcop number 6, the Virgin variant. I just thought this cover was really cool. It's a variant for issue number 6 of the Marvels. I don't know, it just caught my attention. Annihilation Conquest number 4 of 4, featuring the Wraith. Jingle Bells All-Star Holiday Hullabaloo. Blade. I don't know, this is volume 2, volume 3, I don't know. This is Blade number 2. I thought I needed that, but I didn't. Star Wars A New Hope, the Dark Horse Classics collection. This collects issues 1 through 3, with another Art Adams cover there. And then here's 4 through 6 with the Adam Hughes cover. So I was really happy to pick those up. So those were all, it was $15 for all of those. Then the guy that they advertised having this huge collection, he had everything was $3 in the long boxes, and everything in the short boxes were $5. So, but the thing was, like, it was almost all Archie, and I don't really collect Archie, and I mean, they were jammed like 400 books in each box. So, I mean, I started looking through them, but he did have some superhero stuff too. I was hoping that he would have some romance comics in there, but he had no romance. It was all Archie. But I picked a couple out of the long or the short boxes for $5. I just picked this one, Red Hulk number 30.1. And then I also picked up this Xena Warrior Princess number 2 with the Dave Stevens cover for $5. So those are good. Pick those up. And then I started going through his $3 stuff. And so I picked up John Carter, Warlord of Mars, number 18. That's the first Frank Miller art at Marvel. A Monsters on the Prowl, number 28. Just a reprint title that Marvel did of their classic 60s monster and fantasy books. I'm trying to put this run together. He had one Adventures of Spider-Man, so that I picked up that number 9. Black Panther number 8. I always like this cover. Batman Beyond number 1 for $3. This Iron Man Legacy variant cover, which is a homage to Iron Man number 1. This was in there for $3. Infamous Iron Man number 1 with the Doctor Doom cover on there. A random issue of Happy Days. I think this is number 6. That's the last issue of that series. Justice League of America number 179, when Firestorm was going to join, or he was asked to join. He had a couple of Marvel teen magazines, so I picked up Chili, Millie's Redheaded Rival number 9. I couldn't remember. I got to write down which ones of these I have too, because I want to put this set together also. Chili number 19. Chili number 20. And Chili number 22. So, I mean, it's obviously in the vein of Archie. Then he had some Millie comics too, so I picked up the Man About Millie number 2. And the Queen Size Special number 8 of the new Millie the Model. And then he had a bunch of Super Friends in the in the box, so I picked out whatever ones I saw. They looked like they're in pretty decent condition. Number 20, 24, 29, 31. No boards, but at least they're in bags. Number 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and 38. And then the last one I picked up from him was Sabrina number 1. This is based on the Sabrina cartoon that they did. So that was, then those were the comics I picked up. I walked around the place a couple times. And then as I was walking out, I saw somebody had a bunch of magazines. So it wouldn't be a convention comic haul if I didn't walk out of there with some comic magazines. So this guy, he's there all the time. And he had some for $5 and then some for $1. So I started going through them, and wouldn't you know it, of course, I found some. So he had these for $1. So I got Grave Tales from Hamilton, number 1. This is obviously in the vein of Tales from the Crypt. So he had number 1 and number 3. So I got both of those for $1. And then I'm a huge fan urban legends. And so this 100% True magazine, this was $1 also. This reprints, DC had a Paragon Press imprint, and they did a bunch of these square bound, soft cover trade paperbacks, and there was a bunch of different kinds of them, and one of them was Urban Legends. But anyway, this reprints some of the stuff that was in some of those books. Alternate Existence #1 from well, it says AP Publishing, but it's Comics, really. Got that one for $1. I didn't even know Don Martin had a magazine. I guess it went 3 issues. So this is issue #1. This one does have the poster in it. So I got that for $1. This one was pretty sweet. I'd never seen this thing before. Marvel Super Special. And it's got a bunch of stories in there. They're all in black and white. But it's got this cool Perillo Iron Man cover. I mean, look at how nice that looks. So that was a one and done. I don't know. It came out in 2010. So it's already 15 years old. Then I picked up some other, these are, I think these are out of the $5. No. This one was $5. Howard the Duck #1. And then this one was $5. Vampire Tales #3. So always cool to get those Bronze Age monster magazines. And I'm trying to put this series together too. There was 11 issues of this. I got to double check to see how many I got left to fill. Then this one was $1. Cinema Fantastique featuring the Rocketeer. This one was $1. Femme Fatales Volume 7, #10, with a nice, beautiful Yvonne Craig Batgirl cover on it. This one was $5. Little Shop of Horrors with a Bruce Timm cover. People, I guess they don't realize that's Bruce Timm. Then I picked up an issue of Back Issue magazine that I didn't have. This is from 2004, issue #4 with a John Byrne Wolverine cover. Right Now magazine #10. This was $5 too. I thought that was a Bruce Timm cover, but I don't think it is. And then Comic Book Artist, another Tomorrow's publication, #14, featuring Wally Wood. So those are what I picked up at the conventions that I went to over the weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. If you know of anybody who likes comic book hauls, please recommend my channel to them if you could. And other than that, I mean, it was a good weekend for comic book shows around here. It doesn't happen very often when we get them all at the same time. And I think I picked up some good stuff. You know, as you know the deal. Feel free to comment down below. I'll comment or reply to you if you do. And again, thanks everybody for watching. And good luck out there for comics. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.